time to rest. Now it's time to rest. See the fire in your eyes,
Yo, I hope y'all are doing well. We'll turn this down a little bit. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope it's going good. I'll look at the camera. Move my eyebrows like a fucking weirdo. But happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Gooncast. Gonna try to be energetic, be excited, be entertaining. I don't know how much of that we'll do, but we will go over some facts. I hope you enjoyed some of the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack. It's pretty fantastic. I got myself some good old Canadian Timmies here. Triple. Got a lipper. We're good to go. We're good to go. So, got a few things to talk about in the Gooncast. Elon Musk saying he's going to start an AI game studio. That's pretty wild. So let's start share. I'll share my screen and we'll bring this up and we'll talk about Elon wanting a game studio, the response to that. We're going to talk about 8-Bit Eric and him currently being accused of sexual harassment. And I'm going to speak at it from my own expertise as someone who's designed sexual harassment training based on legislation within certain local laws. So I do have a level of expertise on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Yangy. Yeah, no, definitely sexual harassment, but I couldn't figure out a better acronym or if I should have just spelled the word. And hello to you, man. It's funny, my wife saw some of your tweets and now she follows you. It's awesome. So, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Avowed art director thing going on right now. That is taking a statement and it goes to like, this man is racist and he wants to kill all the white men. Maybe he does. I don't know. We're going to look at it, but we're going to try to look at things pretty objectively. So, let's start with the Elon thing. I keep, like I'm on a Teams call, share my screen, but that's pretty much what I'll do. So, here we go. This is Elon's stuff he's got going on here. Too many game studios are owned by massive corporations. XAI is going to start an AI game studio. Doesn't that sound kind of disgusting? Like, at least that first sentence. Games have soul, man. They have passion. They have things that were in there. Does she? Yeah, you made accounts muted for a few more days of insulting literal actual Nazis, so still using your personal one? I get ya. Yep, she definitely does. So, let's see what the comments are. For one, I think there's opportunities for AI to assist developers a lot. Just like any tool, right? Just like the car assisted people that had horses back in the early 1900s. Late 1800s, early 1900s, somewhere around then. However, an AI game studio. The comments. AI will never be able to give us Metal Gear Solid, that's correct. Oh, Grummz in there. AAA budgets. Yeah. This is kind of hypocritical from Grummz, like one would expect. He has many comments against AI in Game Studio and generative AI, but he also has, on the flip side, I heard him on an interview years ago, what Grummz wanted to do, and I don't know if he still wants to, is to use AI to generate different like color palettes for outfits and sell people them. Like within the game, be like, mix and match, and the AI does the thing, and you sell it to people. That's shady. So these are just the responses. If you if you remove DEI and ESG from benefits and government and taxes, this problem will fix itself. The thing is, people are going to make the games they want to make. I'm not sure about the contributions of ESG money, or even DEI money. Like, what does that mean? Like, I'm a game studio. ESG is not likely going away because it covers a wide variety of like environmental, social, and governance issues. Very little about the characters within video games. More about hiring practices, things like that. And some of that might change based on the way the government's going and kind of not moving away from DEI initiatives. But even if you look at what Walmart did, they moved away from DEI, but they want to foster a sense of belonging. So this stuff's always changing and so forth. But let's see how people reacted to it. Not based on the comments, but let's take a look at the actual retweets. X owning a game studio is a massive corporation owning a game studio. He's not wrong. Hire people to make cool shit. Pay those people appropriately. Putting the requirements of AI in this just limits the kind of work produced. He is not wrong. And if you're just joining, make sure to hit that like button. Helps out the stream, all that good stuff. Just make games. Stop putting goalpost requirements. We live in a time where tooling to do this is more accessible than ever, and that's true. Anyone can make a game. It takes discipline, all that stuff. But, the tools are out there. There's RPG Maker. There's Game Maker. There's, console tools, like Dreams is one. Game making is pretty accessible for folks. Let's take a look at a few other comments. Literally a massive corporation. Not using AI, you won't. The CEO Twitter reading this. Yeah, that's funny. What do you think in the chat about Elon Musk opening up an AI game studio? And what does that even look like? Do you want every voice actor to be AI narrated? Again, I think there's assistants that could be useful for it. But I don't know if it is the total way to go. Grummz ate that up. Let's see what the old Grummz man's saying. Let's see what Big Daddy G's saying. He's not going to like my next video. Oh, my dog's losing his mind here. What do you want, buddy? 1 second. Sorry, you're giving me my PJs. All right, he's gone. Hey, Jamer. I wonder what would happen if Elon announced this during the video game strike. I don't know. Probably nothing good. Probably nothing good. Indie games like Anira, Dragon Twin, Alcody. I haven't heard of those, but I should check them out. We'll shut it all over this, no doubt. It's actually pretty, you could call it pretty insulting to the people that work really hard on making video games. And again, I think people need to know how to leverage AI to do their jobs well and to kind of keep up with the current marketplace, the trends, the best practices, leading practices and such. But I don't like the idea of an entire game being made for it. Yeah, Damage Sector. You shared that earlier, didn't you? Hold on, I'm going to search you out here. Legend. Somewhere in your replies here, I think I've seen it. Or maybe you DM'd it to me? No, here it is. Grummz discovered the Elon grift to earn more in X, but doubt you'll ever reach Tiffany Fong levels. By the way, we all know you hate AI and the idea of AI-generated games. He hates the idea that his audience might hate it. AI is terrible. We all get sold hype. There'll be a huge AI bubble burst unless they figure out a breakthrough. If you like my efforts at opposing oppressive big tech and overreaching AI, please subscribe. I don't think anything is more overreaching. AI is overhyped in its capabilities. Oh yeah, definitely follow Damage Sector. Has some hilarious stuff. Yeah, that's what Mr. Grumm's thoughts on AI is. What a guy. And he jumped in right away today, by the way. And what did he do? He did like a podcast or a Spaces with a dude from Halo. Not Master Chief, but Marty, the guy that does some of the music. Or did like the music for Halo. And a few other folks. I don't know what they talked about. I didn't listen to it. Speaking of weird gaming news, what's he saying? Talking about Dungeons and Dragons. Promoting X. Keep winning. What a guy. So, yeah. Elon opening a game studio and basing AI as its fundamental feature is stupid. I don't have a better word for it. I think it's, again, insulting to the people that take it as a creative art. So, that's my thoughts on the Elon thing. Let's talk about 8-Bit Eric and Alyssa. This stuff is kind of wild. So, if you don't know who Alyssa Mercante is, she has been the bane of, like, every anti-woke YouTuber. Like, if, for example, let's go to YouTube here. What do we got here? Let's do a search for Alyssa Mercante. Let's just do recent. Let's filter this. How do I do recent? It's just recently uploaded, I thought. Isn't there a thing that's just recently uploaded? I don't know. Let's go this week then. Like, this girl's all over people's thumbnails. She's been a content farm for them for a while. You know, it started back in March. I believe she did an article in Sweet Baby Inc. that the article was titled "They don't do what you think they do," and it talked about, you know, the Sweet Baby Inc. team's experience with the whole Sweet Baby Inc. detected thing. Although it didn't go into those details, and a lot of people got upset. And you know, I get the perspective that, you know, if you don't feel like you're part of the stories being told, you're going to raise your hand, and you have a right to, and say, hey, that's inappropriate. Like, you know, give a better 360. I don't feel like my side's represented. So, you know, I can acknowledge and understand, you know, people getting annoyed by that. And then she made a comment around, you can't be racist against white people, which you can imagine that went over as well as expected. There's, you know, you're not going to have deep talks about systemic racism on Twitter or X. So it's, you know, all people heard from that is, I hate white people. That's what they got from it. And essentially, you know, it's been a lot of, you know, you could call it back and forth, but you have an army of people on one side, like an army of creators that make a lot of money from this. And you can easily see by some of the higher view videos, like if I just do, I don't know, sort by view count. 4 days ago, 51,000 views. This number might not be perfect, but it's about $2 for every 1,000 views. So that's conceivably $100. I mean, just in ad revenue. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's having a different experience. Maybe his payouts are different, but that's my understanding. And that's just in the last, you know, couple days. So you have Alyssa versus these right-wing YouTubers. The incident in question, and what we're going to do to evaluate it appropriately, is we're going to take a look at what happened, what the definition of sexual harassment is, because I think that's important to understand what it is, and what the outcome is now. We'll try to look at both perspectives to come to understand what happened. So, to kind of start, where is it here? Let's go to, well, I thought I had a whole window up here with this already go. Maybe this was it and I was messing up stuff. We'll just do a little search for, we'll search for Alyssa here. And we're going to find kind of her initial kind of flagging of this. Okay. Just a couple days ago. Yeah, 51K views, $255. That's, I could deal with $255 right now. Man, she's like a content farm. Like, you know, when something's a story, like, you know, for a few weeks, but it's been like, what, 9 months? Here it is. Let's have a listen. Hold on, let me make sure my audio's up here. I know I've got a couple videos, and I've unlisted a few because they were money glitch things, and I'm not a total asshole, because when they became, like, irrelevant, I got rid of them. But I've got a couple videos. Like, I want to say I have one at 200,000, and it's made me, like, $400, $500, something like that. Okay, so let's have a listen to him. So this is a video that Alyssa is alleging could be sexual harassment.
That's the facts. Like, this bitch.
Why can't I hear it?
Anybody only pays
my
attention to her
headphones
opinion
unplugged?
just so they can make fun of it.
Y'all can hear it.
Like,
I can't hear it, but
nobody.
I might have to
nobody
play
in
it
this
again.
world, on this fucking planet, on God's green fucking earth, looks at her, even her friends. I guarantee you, nobody takes it serious and goes like, "Oh, okay, she has a good point of view." Nobody does it. She's a fucking laughing stock.
Okay, let's listen here.
That's the facts. Like, this bitch, only anybody. That's the facts.
Oh wait.
To it. It'll if Alyssa was on an island with me, I guess I
There's one I was looking for.
bitch. Only anybody.
So many clips.
The facts.
There's
Like,
one about him talking about 8
Just
inches.
only pays attention to it. Island with me, I guess I can cope. Why do I think Alyssa Mercante is obsessed with me? She's crushed on me, bro. She wants some of the 8-inch Eric.
That's
At the
the
end
one.
of the
Yeah.
day, JJJJ Jr. She wants some of the 8-inch Eric at the end of the day. That's all it is.
We'll pause it there because they don't really care what else he has to say at that point, right? When he says you want the 8-inch Eric. That to me is, a sexually suggestive comment. I don't know how else you could take it, and that is what it is. Now, if we look at the definition of sexual harassment, and it's behavior characterized by making an unwelcome or inappropriate sexual remark or physical advances in a workplace or other professional or social situation. Whether or not a stream can be considered that, I think there's probably enough precedent out there for digital harassment. Hey, Jamar, so sad how the algorithm caters to grift YouTubers because it would send the wrong idea to smaller and up-and-coming content creators on what growth the internet is. Absolutely, and it certainly does. So, in this case, it's behavior characterized by the making of unwanted. So, I mean, it's established, it's unwanted, obviously. Is it a sexual remark? I would call it a sexual remark. He has a lot of videos on her too, trying to deplatform me, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But, I won't get too far ahead of myself because we want to look at kind of both sides to kind of understand. So Eric put this video out, and he has a number of comments, but that was just one of them, and I think it's a good example. Like where someone says, you want my 8-inch whatever, whatever he calls it, like baby Eric or whatever. That's teetering a line. Whether it's legal or not is depending on the jurisdiction, the areas, and so forth. And some of the arguments coming from this are like, well, Alyssa has been harassing them and said stuff about them. Sure. Say she's harassing you then. Do it. I mean, you certainly can. Is she sexually harassing you? Are you considering what she's doing sexually harassing? Because that can be independent of their actions towards her. She can, it's not like tribalism will cancel each other out because we're both doing bad things. Sure, people could argue, well, she contacted Smash JT's wife, but those same people are lauding, upset about that, are lauding free speech and saying, well, that's too much. So it's a little bit of lack of consistency in kind of made up rules. So we know at this point Eric has made sexually suggestive comments. Alyssa commented on this somewhere, wherever the hell I had it. This man's obsession with me moved past disturbing a long time ago because he did pause like a game of Fortnite after Alyssa, and I could be mistaken, but I think she posted some pictures of like, I don't know if there's some boob in it or whatever it is, but he was like, he got beaten Fortnite because he was so distracted and visibly distracted. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's weird. But the explicit remarks are kind of the wild ones that could bite his butt from a TOS standpoint. And there's a number of things from the live stream. So let's see what Erica said about all this. She had a number of clips that she shared. You can check them all out on Twitter. The dude's hammered too. So let's see what old 8-bit Eric says. Let's see here. What account did I mute? Whoever that is. Man's been like a reply guy here. Just trying to farm rage bait. Oh, this guy, did I just get Mercante? Because he did put out a post about it. Let's see here. Because he definitely wants to play the victim. 100%. Like, oh, they're trying to cancel me. Yeah, always a good sign when they're getting hammered on stream. Oh, here he is. Felt cute. Might hop on a drug stream, drop the F slur a few times. Go crazy, man. throw some wildly inappropriate comments for good measure. Hey, you can say what you want, but there's consequences for things that could be construed as harassment or sexual harassment. Now, this is not legal advice, but I did ask ChatGPT, if someone makes suggestive statements in a video about me, I should say it's sexually suggestive, is it sexual harassment? Whether statements in a video about you constitute harassment depend on several factors, workplace laws. Are the statements explicitly sexual or offensive? I'd say they were explicitly sexual when you say that you want my 8 inches. Or she wants the 8 inches of Eric. It's so funny. Are they targeted at you in a way that feels unwanted and inappropriate? Only she can answer that. I would assume she does, obviously based on her comments. Are they demeaning, degrading, or designed to make you feel uncomfortable? I'd say yes. Intent versus impact. What is their intent? It doesn't really matter. But do they create a hostile, intimidating, or offensive environment? They could qualify for harassment. Were they in professional, a public, or a private setting? Was the video shared in a way that could harm your reputation? Is it a one-time incident and might qualify as harassment? However, repeated behaviors, and this is interesting, often strengthen a harassment claim. Again, it's all dependent on jurisdictions, local laws. Sorry, I need some soda. So again, it's depending on law, like from a legal standpoint. I think the layperson can make the choice whether they want to call it sexual harassment or not. Like, if you say it's not sexual harassment, I mean, that's your own opinion. But I would be curious on kind of what that line is. Does it not exist in the digital space? You don't believe me? What don't you believe, Vincent? How you doing, buddy? Like, it depends, on laws, jurisdictions, etc., etc. The repeated behavior is an interesting note. So if these statements make someone feel uncomfortable or degrading, it's worth addressing even if it doesn't meet the legal definition. Whether, I'm not sure if it meets the legal definition. Perhaps it does, perhaps it doesn't. But I think, based on what she shared, she certainly has a right to say, hey, this is sexual harassment, at least from her perspective, because it's not really, like, if you're the person being harassed, nothing is worse than people being like, no, you're not being harassed. You deserved it. You started it. I'm like, it's a pretty disproportionate battle. Which is crazy. So that we know that if I go to Eric's actual posts, let's go to his, because I think he actually talked about it in posts, and I find this funny. Oh, I've got a picture too. This is a DM, or I did have a picture, but I will find it because it's a DM between Eric and Alyssa, and what Eric got from this is, what did he get from it? He got from it that Alyssa was false flagging him to get him deplatformed. And what Alyssa said, here it is right here. Specifically, okay, you have a chance to apologize, double down. She'll pursue every course of action to remove and demonetize your content in which you defame and harass me. That's not her saying that she's trying to deplatform him just for the sake of deplatforming him. She's saying if your content is defaming her, this is what I'm getting from it anyway. If your content is defaming and harass me, that specific content, I will take every course of action to remove and demonetize that content. And that's a fair course of action if you are feeling defamed or harassed. And then she says, my father and boyfriend would love a word. And then she also mentions in another tweet that it was a veiled threat. Did she just threaten to send her dad and boyfriend after you? I mean, I tell you, if I had a girlfriend, someone was speaking to her like that, I mean, what would you do? What would you do? I mean, I'm a married man. If someone spoke to my wife like that, I'd be having words with them. Why wouldn't I? Because some of the things that have been said, like if some dude's like, she just wants the 8 inches. I'm like, first of all, man, Canada here, we have we use the metric system. And I'm like, what a guy, what a guy. So we've established what he said about it a little bit. He has more comments about it, though. I'd like to find it. This reminds me that you just got ready to buy Nier Automata, and you need it forever, and to try forever, and when you saw it on sale today, you finally picked it up? Okay. Nice, man. I've never played it. Hopefully it's good. I hope you enjoy it. Another call to action today. So, the thing that they're upset about is he thinks someone said mean words to me and roasted me, even though I went to his chat to start shit. Let's deplatform him. That's a far cry from saying, you know, I'm going to try to remove and demonetize the content that is defaming me, or whatever word used was. I wouldn't care, because 8-bit isn't worth your time. Who cares what this internet loser says? I know, man. It's just, the thing that struck me and made me want to talk about it was mainly the response to it. Like, getting people walked into a bit of a corner that be like, free speech, I can say whatever I want. Then why aren't you going in the street, man, and being like, hey, here's my penis? I don't fucking know, man. But there's reasons why people don't say that. And some of the defense that came running to him, like, was wild. There was a post from 8-bit that got me to bring that up. Nice. Like, if I go to, where's this guy? It's the same convo. I kind of bowed out of it after the guy looked kind of silly. So, this kind of spin doctor stuff. Former Kotaku girl boss Alyssa Mercante threatens false strike. Does she threaten a false strike? Hey, Boiler Pan. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, free speech is not without consequences. Absolutely. The adult woman also says her boyfriend and dad want a word, insinuating that men in her life will commit violence. I had to say that loud because it was in all capitals. On her behalf. That's funny. I mean, she literally said they just would love a word. I don't know if that's violence. I'm like, you're just as bad as the journalist for leaving out context. Might as well join Kotaku yourself. That's the context that we're talking about. Context, Alyssa was mad. The guy was being a drunk fool. That's a nice little ratio there. Double. It's okay. Clickbait being on a locale podcast, his opinion doesn't matter to me? No. He's like, I saw a comment that really resonated. He's kind of like Mario if Bowser won. 20 years later, things have gotten dark for our Italian plumber friend. Talking shit in stream is not a false flaggable offense. What's this false flagging stuff? She's mad at what she said and tried to false flag. So is that just like diminishing? Is that where the intrinsic difference of opinion comes? And this is where I was trying to find out. Okay, so you can say whatever you want about someone with no consequences, I guess. And what I wanted to know is, like, when does it become sexual harassment? Is there a line, and where is it? He's like, yes, you can 100% say whatever you want about another person in the United States. The line is a police report, not to campaign your followers to falsely flag someone in your name. I'm not sure if Alyssa did that. I believe she posted the video and said this is gross, and people probably saw it and were like, I'm reporting this. Maybe she did say report it. I don't know. But that's been happening when people show various clips on the internet, and, you know, if this offends you, report it. I mean, if you look at what all the anti-woke YouTubers do, is they throw a tweet out there with a dog whistle to say, like, you know, this community manager or this person or that person, and they all jump on them. What is up, Omega? Or Captain Mosa, how you doing, buddy? Happy Wednesday to you. I thought it was Tuesday earlier, but it's Wednesday. So I don't disagree. You can say what you want. You can make a flag where it becomes TOS is getting others. Every YouTuber knows this. For one, she's not a YouTuber. she's flagging content that she thinks is harassing. I certainly did, Captain. My gooning brothers in action, man. I thought you'd like it, man. The Gooncast. And Alyssa mentioned something to him. You don't have special protections. If you have an issue, make the flag. So he's basically saying, like, I feel what I'm getting from it is, if you feel sexually harassed, don't tell anyone and go to the cops and make the flag yourself, but don't say anything about it. From guys that just bitch and complain about everything, it's wild. No, the issue is claiming you can say this on YouTube. The issue acting like this isn't sexual harassment. I don't disagree with her. Like, I really don't. I don't think it's probably within the TOS. He lost me at the point where he started talking about, like, how she just wanted his dick. That's the point where I'm like, okay, I can, you know what? How many times have I talked about Grummz pecker during my videos? Zero times. I'm going to keep it that way, too. I'm like, that's the line that I will draw. Grummz, you do not have to worry about me talking about you or your family in that way. You've got more than enough content around you for me to do that. Stuff is wild. So we'll see where that lands. I know he's already, if you go to his channel, hold on here. Whoop! That's a background of Gun, the game. So, Alyssa, look at this. Sad face. Alyssa Mercante is trying to deplatform me. Let's watch his video and react. Oh, man, it's 30 minutes?
Costs are going up everywhere. And now streaming could cost you.
So last
We
night,
won't watch all of it.
your boy had some fun. We had some shenanigans. I went on stream and I was just calling it like it was. I was a little inebriated, I'll admit I had some drinks or so, but it doesn't happen very often on the channel. But
Fabian.
Alyssa Mercante paid me a visit in my chat, which I'm surprised was the first
sounds
time
drunk
that she
now.
actually showed herself. And I said a lot of things that obviously were sarcasm, obviously joking. Were they sexually suggestive? Sure. But in no form or fashion was this person sexually harassed and in danger or fearing for their lives. If she was, why would she stick around?
Wow. I don't know, man. This shit's wild. I'm going to give out some memberships because I got 5 free ones to give out. Boom. Here's some free memberships for the McDizzle Gaming stuff. If you get a free one, don't worry. You don't have to, like, renew it or anything. But you get some custom hand-drawn emojis that my wife made. Of our dogs. They're pretty nice. And some members-only content. But, yeah. I'm going to re-listen to that. This man's regretting
So
his
last
actions.
night, your boy had some fun. We had some shenanigans. I went on stream and I was just calling it like it was. I was a little inebriated, I'll admit I had some drinks or so, but it doesn't happen very often on the channel. But Alyssa Mercante paid me a visit in my chat, which I'm surprised was the first time that she actually showed herself. And I said a lot of things that obviously were sarcasm, obviously joking. Were they sexually suggestive? Sure. But in no form or fashion was this person sexually harassed and in danger or fearing for their life.
Okay, coming from my expertise as someone who has designed sexual harassment training, I've done significant research around the topic. This statement is just kind of wild. Did we have some drinks? Yeah. Did we say some sexually suggestive stuff about Alyssa? Which he did. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't sexual harassment. Oh my god, man. And again, I can't define
If she was,
why
would she stick around?
Oh, I can't define it legally, but I'm just using a layperson's term that, these are sexually harassing comments. I just can't see a way around that.
Around in my chat and interact and engage with me. I was even like, hey, come on.
It can't be sexual harassment because she stuck around or she went in the chat. And I guess she debunked that. He's like, she stayed there for 7 hours. And he's like, and then she's like, no, I was there for like a minute.
You know what? We could talk right now. We could have a conversation. I was being serious.
Thanks, Damage.
I even said, hey, I don't hate you. Right? And then, sure, there was parts where I said comments that were inappropriate or whatever, but it was all jokes. All right? It's all fun and games. Anyways, this morning when I woke up.
Man, that's troublesome sounding. It was jokes. It was fun and games when I called you a whore. Like, that's wild to me.
I saw, I guess, she had her other gotcha with me where she clipped the stream and she went on a whole series of fucking tweets. I mean, she went nuts today. She went absolute nuts. So here's the first one. She says, this man's obsession with me moved past disturbing a long time ago, but this is worrying. Visibly drunk, who cares? Making sexually explicit remarks about you. Okay.
You're right, RJ.
Says the girl that shows her ass and tits all over the timeline, even when I don't look.
Like, I don't know, shaming is the word. Does Alyssa post pictures of herself? Sure. There's plenty of people that post pictures of themselves on the internet that I don't make sexually suggestive comments to. He is telling on himself so bad, RJ. And Ghost Killer, buddy. Welcome to episode 2 of the Goonery.
Look at your timeline. I'm still seeing it because it's everywhere. Anyways, here's the first clip. Obviously, you can tell from watching it, I'm deadpan humoring it. I'm obviously being sarcastic, but that just flies over the head or it just doesn't fit into their narrative. But let's watch. Why do I think Alyssa Mercante is obsessed with me? She's crushed on me, bro. She wants some of the 8-inch Eric. At the end of the day, JJJJ Jr. She wants some of the 8-inch Eric at the end of the day. So obviously me joking and saying 8-inch Eric, that's a running bit, a running gag on my channel. And saying that is just me being silly. Oh yeah, that girl obviously wants some 8-inch Eric.
My man. It's just me joking, man. That's all it is. What a guy. What a guy.
That's all it is. And I don't blame her. She's one of these girls that I've talked to in the past. They have bad tattoo judgment. Maybe daddy issues. Look, obviously right here, I'm joking. Do you think...
I mean, see, at that point, like, I think it's just, like, assholery. It's the 8-inch thing that I'm like, eh.
In any kind of world,
Could
somebody
be
would be...
harassment.
This...
If we go back to the repeated behavior, though, I'm pretty sure that's, you know, Alyssa could probably consider that harassment when there's been so many videos where he's made so many comments, things like that. But it hasn't been as bad as this, I don't think.
Purposely antagonistic, this purposely cocky. You know I wrestle, right? There's like personas and crap. I'm internet trolling. You're the one that decided to come into the stream and make your presence known. So of course you're gonna get roasted, girl. You know, stuff like that. Boyfriend trauma. Things of that nature. Look, are you telling me, like, just look at me. Look how much of on purpose of an asshole I'm being here.
He's trying to cover his tracks so bad. This guy was also accused by a wrestling federation. Man, I'd have to dig to find it, but it wasn't that long ago. Like, there was a specific federation accused him of being inappropriate with females, with at least one female within the federation. I could find that. He said, no, it wasn't me. But, you know, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Hey, Onifets. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends here. And if you celebrate it here, it was Thanksgiving here in Canada, beginning of October. I don't know why we have a different one.
And I guess this was her gotcha. I don't fucking know. I can fix them. I could fix them. Does not scream joke? Like who in this world will sit there and literally be like, yeah, this girl's, she has issues. I could fix her. Like, that's an obvious joke. I mean, I honestly, if I was to take her out on a date, I would ask her, who hurt her? like, who hurt you? Like, where any And you can still tell I'm still putting this Joey Spector.
No, I've had enough of. I think we got what we needed from that, which is just him being like, "I was just joking." Really trying to cover his butt. But at what point, does a joke constitute harassment? Because harassment is often based on not the intent, but the way it's been received. So, he might have the intent that it's a joke, whatever his intent might be, but the way it was perceived by that person was not. And that's where he might run into some problems. I don't know if he will or not. I mean, YouTube might not do anything. I don't know. But it's still pretty sleazy-ish anyway. Little bit wild. So that's a little bit about the 8-bit Eric and Alyssa stuff. So where that's left off is Eric has a video on there saying she's trying to deplatform him. That wasn't necessarily the case. She's not reporting or false flagging irrelevant content, but she is flagging content that she feels harassed or is defaming her, which, she has every right to do that. So I totally, yeah. I wanted to talk about this because I found the discourse around it really wild, because it reverted to mainly free speech, that someone should be able to say whatever they want, and it wouldn't be considered harassment. And I find that's quite an echo chamber to live in. You can say whatever you want, but you're going to either get clowned on. There could be legal repercussions. I don't know if there ever will be. It all depends. I'm not a legal expert. But when I hear people talk, that aren't legal experts, they sound like they want to be experts. Being like, she has no case, she has no chance. Based on, she's done this too. And I'm like, if you take a deeper look in, she really hasn't. She hasn't made videos with their images plastered all over them. I just think it's crazy if we kind of just look at, let's take a look at the top videos this year that has Alyssa Mercante's name in it. Okay, Asmongold. He's milking it. Like this video 2 weeks ago, almost 1 million views. Thousands of dollars. I mean, it's only 2 minutes long, maybe less. I don't know. It's a lot of money. But she's made people so much money. Like, that's just crazy. Imagine making... So I've started my Grummz videos at the end of August. I've got one more coming out. But I'm actually covering a topic. Not just the person. But this is just obsessive. Like, I don't know if I could quantify the amount of videos that they've made. Look at the tears in her eyes. Dude, we got some yelling liberal upset that Trump won like pictures in them. Continues to drama farm me after I don't know what they're talking about. Like, she's in the previous iterations of Gamergate, there were some girls that I think became like martyrs for it, became like the most hated people in the world. She is that new person. She's that new... I don't want to draw comparisons to people I don't really know, like Anita Sarkeesian or whoever might be involved with Gamergate 1. Oh, we were talking about good old sexual harassment, Luke. Really how YouTube incentivizes shit. Like the GriftTubers, it's been this way since 2015. Yeah, it's tough to get people super engaged in positive stuff, but boy, negative stuff and drama, it seems to fly. But I do just want to play video games. I wish I could get a whole bunch of like subscribers and views and money from just doing that. But it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, that's wild. Like, again, I don't agree with, a number of her takes. But that's a long time. March till November. So that's what we got with 8-Bit Eric and Alyssa. Let's talk about the Avowed stuff, and I'll go to Grummz for this one. I was looking at it earlier. We'll use Grummz for our news source. It came out here somewhere. It was around the art director. Okay. So this art director. Oh yeah, Smash is crazy. They've got a super feud going. She contacted his wife. I mean, it's funny. Like, these guys all about free speech, but the moment someone contacts someone's wife, watch out. And I think he's been upset about that. So, this art director from Obsidian, who's making the game Avowed, which looks decent, wasn't anything super special to me, but Elon Musk was very upset about a comment he made. So let's find his comment. Okay. And I will say, this guy could have said this better. So what he said was, reminder to any black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open, and you will always have my priority. We have 2 May crusty white dudes in his field, like himself. Please help and help you replace me one day. He wants to go back to living in the woods. So the core of his message, I think, is kind of decent. In the core of his message being like, hey, if you're a black artist, you're having trouble getting support, you know, I'm successful in the industry, my DMs are open. The second part, no real need to say that. I'm not sure when he said it. It looks like maybe it was recently, I don't know. Maybe it was a long time ago. I know during the BLM piece, you know, a lot of people started to, you know, look at different perspectives and so forth. I see nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm willing to help you, you know, especially to a marginalized group. I think that's okay. The second part is going to get people angry, and it has, because that second part has been taken from him making an offhand comment about too many white dudes in this field, help me lift you up and replace me one day, to this man discriminates against white people, and there's other people saying he should be getting sued, or Obsidian should be getting sued for discrimination. So that might make their legal department a little bit hairy around it. Probably saying that second part was not the best idea. No problem with the first part. I think, you know, that's cool of him. Whatever, I think it's cool. But it's not gonna be any benefit to, and you know, I don't disagree with his message. When it says 2 May crusty white dudes in the field, I mean, if you go to a place that is 100% white people and it's difficult for black people to get in the door, totally, you know, I get that, but no one should be kind of just tossed away, you know? So yeah, I don't think his statement was great. I think the first sentence is good. I think the second sentence causes unnecessary problems and drives unnecessary attention towards the actual game. But it has turned into taking this to saying this man doesn't want, this company won't hire white people. And I don't think we would have got to that place if he didn't have that second sentence. I don't think that's what the message says, but I could see how someone could reach and get there with that second statement. Yeah, I agree, Luke. It's like, it was kind of unnecessary. Like, I love being able, like, you know, help people that might not have help. Cool. Voice the voiceless. I love CM Punk. CM Punk. Do we get Survivor Series this weekend? Is it War Games? Totally off topic for the wrestling fans. It might just be Luke. So it says he's become an extreme liability for the studio with his overt and open anti-white hatred. See, the language is quite... I mean, I think the dude is he white? I don't know. But that doesn't mean he can't have white hatred. All right, let's see what Pure Blood says here. The pronoun game, Avowed. The pronoun game. I know Grummz is like, any game that has pronouns in, I refuse to play. I'm like, it's a type of thing where I don't really care. When I create my dude character, I find my dude pronouns, I go about my life. If it doesn't impact me in a negative way, why Why should I care about shit existing? 30th? Nice, nice. That would be good. Start doing a wrestling podcast. Gooning wrestling. No, gooning wrestling sounds like a illegal activity or something. So, I think that game's likely in big trouble. I mean, it's going to be on Game Pass. It looks pretty decent, I guess. Nothing I was really looking forward to. What I am looking forward to, and I don't care, is Indiana Jones. I'm pumped. Troy Baker's does an awesome Harrison Ford. It looks good. I'm excited about it. So, well, that's about all I had to talk about. It's about 45 minutes. That's been the first couple episodes. Just kind of getting my footing. But I wanted to kind of bring some research and do a deeper dive into the 8-Bit Eric and Alyssa stuff. I thought it was interesting and good discussion around it. But yeah, I appreciate all of you for hanging out. We're just going to keep doing this, though. Keep getting better and better. Maybe we'll have some people on it. We'll have some chats. But thank you for coming in, Vincent, Luke, Fabian, Onifats, Ghost Killer, RJ, Damage Sector. I appreciate y'all. Here's things about pronouns, especially the fantasy thing. It's tradition to make ridiculously fucked up video games, and having pronouns adds more customization. Exactly. That's the thing that get me is in like character creators. I want throw whatever you want there. Throw the kitchen sink. You can do whatever you want. Doesn't mean I'll use them all, but just because I'm not using them all doesn't mean I want to take it away from anyone, you know? But yeah, have a good one, all. I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for tuning in. Don't you worry, man. Nothing to apologize about. We'll talk soon, Mr. Luke. See y'all.